Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a lesson on legato playing. This technique basically uses a mixture of hammer-ons and pull-offs to give you a really nice smooth sound. When I developed this technique myself many years ago, I was very much into picking. I was into alternate picking, particularly players like John Petrucci, Ingvar Malmsteen, and I could pick really well, but my hammer-ons and pull-offs were really poor in comparison. So the exercise I'm going to show you today will hopefully help you if you're struggling a little bit with your legato playing. So to start off with, we're going to have a look at example 1. Now the sheet is in the description below, so it's a free PDF, so if you just click on the link down there, you'll be able to download your copy of the sheet. So example 1, we're basically doing different trill exercises using different combinations of our fingers. And the idea of these is that you're not worried about speed to start off with, okay? What we're looking for is we're looking at building up slowly and building up our stamina so that we can sustain hammer-ons and pull-offs for a longer period of time without it sounding weak at the end. So one thing to say before we dive in, make sure that you're warmed up before doing these, because hammer-ons and pull-offs can sort of strain your wrist and particularly your sort of tendons around here, so make sure that you've been playing for a bit beforehand and that you're nicely warm. So the first example is basically trilling between our 5th fret and our 6th fret on my high E string, okay? And what I used to do was I used to set a timer for about a minute and just try to sustain that slowly without having to repick any of the notes. It's quite a challenge, and then later on you can then gradually build up the speed, so you're sustaining that for a minute or whatever. The next bit of it is, after you've done a minute of that, move on to your 5th fret and then your 7th fret using my 3rd finger and my index finger, okay? And for that, same thing again, so just practicing that whilst having your timer on and try and sustain that for a minute. Your neighbours and your family are going to love it when you practice these. Next one, we're using our index finger and our little finger. Okay, and then you can gradually, once again, pick up the speed once you get ready to that. So far we've done our first 2 fingers, we've done our 1st finger and our 3rd finger, and then our 1st and our 4th finger. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, starting with the 2nd finger and trilling between the 3rd finger. This one is quite tricky. Again, sustaining that for a minute and then gradually picking up the speed. Then we've got our 2nd finger and our 4th finger. And then last but not least, our 3rd finger to our little finger. Okay, and once you've done all of those, over time you'll find that your strength will improve, and as I said, you're looking at not picking notes again and trying to sustain that nice and slowly over that minute each on all of those, 6 minutes a day, and you do that for a few weeks and you'll find that your legato playing will skyrocket. It'll be so much better. Right, let's move on to some more musical examples now. So example number 2, we've got hammer-ons using our combination of our 1st finger, our middle finger and our 4th finger. So a lot of these scale shapes very, very common with rock players, the 3 note per string major scale positions. So example 2, we're going 5, 6, 8, and we're just hammering on. Okay, and then we're doing a bar of that, so we do 4 of those, and then we move into our 5th fret, 7th and our 8th fret. So we're using our index, our 3rd finger and our 4th finger. So essentially the whole of example number 2 is this. And you're looking at getting it nice and clean. The other thing that you're trying to do as well is to not hear the sound of your picking. So you're not looking for this. You want to try and get the notes sounding even. So every time you play that 5th fret, just try a lighter pick stroke than perhaps what you would normally play. Try and get the notes sounding as even as you can so you don't hear that pick stroke. Example number 3 is basically the opposite of that. So we're doing a descending pattern, so we're doing pull-offs for that. So we start off at 8, 6, 5. Okay, and then 8, 7, 5. So together, sounds like this. Okay, so we're starting to get used to these particular shapes now. Now what you can do to develop these a little bit further is to start moving to the lower strings because that will offer you a new challenge, particularly when you're doing pull-offs, not catching the string underneath. So on the B string you run the risk of catching that high E string. So what you want to be able to do is to, with your 1st finger on your left hand, you want to be able to mute the strings around it. So here, when I'm fretting this 5th fret on my B string, my E string, I'm muting with this part of my finger here. And I'm also muting the top part with my fingertip, just resting it on the underside of the G. So that basically, if I accidentally hit any of these strings with my fingers, it doesn't matter because they're muted. My lower strings I'm muting with my thumb on my picking hand, or you can use this part of your hand, whatever your usual picking position is for that. Right, let's move on to example number 4 now. So this is a really, really cool pattern. It's a 7-note pattern. Again, it's just going up the major scale using 3-note per string patterns. I've just done the first, the bottom, well, the first 4 strings that you come across, and you can just sort of carry on the pattern, and it works with any 3-note per string shape, so any of the modes of the major scale or anything like that. That'll be good. If you want a lesson on anything like that, just pop something in the comments below and we can do that for you. So example number 4, we go in 3, 5, 7. So we're hammering on, so it's that first pattern we just done. We're then pulling off back down, so back down from the 7th, 5th to the 3rd, and then hammering back onto the 5th and the 7th. We're only picking on the first note on each string, so it goes like this. So we're picking, hammer, hammer, pull, pull, hammer, hammer. Okay, moving down to the next string, so it's 3, 5, 7 on this one, and again, pick, hammer, hammer, pull, pull, hammer, hammer. So 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5, 7. On the D string, we're going up to the 4th fret because that's the next note in the G major scale. So F sharp, So it's 4, 5, 7, 5, 4, 5, 7. So it's exactly the same pattern. Same on your G as well, and you can keep going right up the scale. The nice thing about learning these patterns is that you can practice these on one string. And you can then move them around between each of those sorts of scale shapes within the major scale. So it's really usable. So the whole of example 4 sounds like this. Okay, let's go on to example number 5 now. So example number 5 is a 6-note pattern. It might feel a bit strange to start off with, but again, it's a real common pattern that comes up in a lot of rock tracks, especially from the 80s. A lot of Steve Vai solos and things will have this pattern in it. And again, it's based on this 3-note per string scale shape. So we go in, starting on our 10th fret with my little finger, pulling off to my 7, hammering onto my 8th, hammering onto my 10th, pulling off to my 8th, pulling off to my 7th. Okay? So it's 10, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. And basically, you're just repeating that pattern on the B string, same frets. And then same pattern again on the G, but this time we're on the 9th, our 5th, and then our 7th. So it's 9, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5. And then same on the D string, so 9, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5. So put that together. Okay. Really cool shape. Check out David Lee Roth's Shy Boy, the solo for that. It's got it all over there, especially at the start of the song. So have a go at those. See how you get on. Pop a comment in the comments below if this lesson was any use to you, and if there's anything that you want me to cover in future lessons, just pop it in there, and we'll do our best to get it to you. Give us a like and subscribe if you like the video. Help build up the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.